Hello everyone, it's me, Panda OSC guy, and I'm going to show you how to make an actual good FNF song.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see how good this video is.
Now what you want to do is that you want to make those vocals.
Okay, what the was that? So, if I'm getting this straight, he was recording the vocals? What? As a person who uses FL Studio Mobile for approximately 2 years, this is not how we make vocals. Also, to prove I'm not the only one who thinks that this video was bad, I also interviewed my buddy, Token, asking about some thoughts about the video. So Token, what do you think about this video?
This is not a tutorial. This is plagiarism. This so-claimed tutorial just tells you to go online, search for a recreation of a song, which is not you creating a song or mixing one, changing the instruments, and going crazy with everything else. The most original part of this tutorial is to record the vocals, which don't even end up good in themselves. From recording the vocals like Neo said, to spamming slide notes in places where they don't make sense, this video is sloppy. I also hold the knowledge of composing in my hands. I have both FL Studio for mobile and computer, and I've been composing for 3 to 4 years. And this is the exact opposite of what you should do when making a song or just mixing a song in general.
Thank you for your thoughts, Token. Anyways, please go subscribe to Token's channel. He also helps with so much in the BFDI mix community. Also, Token is not the only person I interviewed. I asked the Kaiser Mixer, known for his Loser's Relic mix, for his thoughts as well, and he also thinks the same way as us. Please go subscribe to his channel too. Both channels are in the description, plus the artist, Buxton. Thank you. So today's video, I'll teach you how to make good FNF songs. Okay, let's start. So what I have here is something that I'm gonna use for a BFDIA mix concept I'm going to be doing. It's based off of Lucas Spatula's BFDI mix. And this is going to be Fry's section on the Return of Non-Existing BFDIA mix. As you may see, there's Fries and gelatin. Pretty cool. So, okay, let's get to the point. So, on how to make a good FNF song, it's all about the melody. It's all about the rhythm, how you need to make it. And for Fry's section concept, I started with the guitars, since I have no idea. This is where, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but you just kind of gotta go with feeling. So I just kind of slapped in a bunch of notes like and just kept it a rhythm. I'm gonna put on the metronome and like that, it's on rhythm. You have to keep it in these square brackets. I keep saying brackets, but I know they're not called brackets. You have to keep it in rhythm in these square boxes, I guess. So, for example, let me just use this super saw. And then if we align it with these square boxes, then it's gonna be on rhythm. Oh, I messed that up.
Stupid.
And then maybe you could do something like, and then you get, if you keep it in these squares, then it's gonna create a perfect rhythm. Unless you record it and then do something like, yeah, that's not gonna cut it. No, that's not good. That's not good. So yeah, it's best to do it manually than record it, so you don't get any, I don't know, off time rhythms. Yeah, like that's bullshit. And then now what we gotta work on is the note length. So I'm gonna use the superstar again. Let's say you just keep it as one square and then do something like it's on rhythm, but it doesn't have, I don't know, it doesn't really feel cool. It just feels like, it just feels bland. So by changing the note, by changing the length of the note, like make this one longer, make this one shorter. Oh, let's say make this one really short, long, semi-short, and then like just short, like yeah, and then you get some like, and then yeah, it feels a little bit more original now. And then this is where slide notes come in. You have to also align this. If you do it somewhere random, then I don't know. Depending on how you use slide notes, whether it's really, really cool or it just sucks. So I'm aligning these pretty well. And then, you probably get something like this. Yeah, and then you would get something cool. Those are the points of making good rhythm. And then you would get something like this. Just create your own rhythm, make sure it's on time, and then think about how you use the slide notes. So we got some like, and then you also got to think about what key you're on. Alright. So right now I'm using a F sharp minor, which is kind of hard to understand for amateurs. So basically I'm using these main notes. These 7 notes. This one. I think it's easy if I do this. Just boom. Then. And then. Yeah. And then you can see that by making it F minor. Yeah, this is the F minor scale. So I use these notes often. But when you want to make it a little bit, how can I say this? A little bit more pizzazz. A little bit more cooler. Then you can start using other notes that are not in the scale. Oh. But that's actually kind of hard to do, since it needs a lot of training on the ears. So yeah, that's gonna be hard to talk about. So I'm just not gonna talk about that. Yeah, that's what I started with the guitars. And then now we gotta go over the bass. The bass is one of the most important parts of making a good FNF song, or anything like that. For example, I'm using an F sharp minor key, but depending on the chords, you kind of get a, I don't know, different wave of notes. So for example, the F sharp minor chord is these chords. That's the F sharp minor chord. But once you get the hang of the F sharp minor scale, then you can use other chords that fit the key. So, for example, and then maybe slap in a little F. That's not in the scale, but it just adds a little bit more pizzazz. These are the chords I'm using. These are the chord progressions I'm using. And then align the bass with the chords. And then you get some like so yeah, make sure you know what kind of chord progression you're using. Since if you just make a random chord progression, it's gonna sound really weird. So that's gonna need a lot of skill. And now for, I guess, the drums. Depending on how you use the drums, it's gonna sound whack or pretty cool. Since this is like the first part of Fry's section, I just only added hi-hats. While I'm making these hi-hats, I'm also adding a trans delay to add an extra little reverb, and also changing the note length to make it sound a little bit more cooler. And then add in something a little extra, like it sounds kind of like the Teapot intro, but it's a little bit different. With the piano and a glockenspiel, like. And then finally, now we have the vocals. Now these are the most important. Not, I guess the most important. I mean, everything's pretty much important. But I mean, without vocals, you can't. It's not called an FNF song. So now, yeah, this is what I got cooking up. So just like I said about the guitar, I guess aligning with the rhythm, change the note length, add in some slide notes, make sure you use them carefully, and then maybe add in something like this. Yeah, that was actually kind of hard. So what I just did right now was make the notes cooler. This is a normal note. Now, how to make it cooler. How to make it sound, adding a little bit of a spice to it. Make it shorter, make it a slide note, and then, yeah, that's cool, right? And then you can make something like, that is cool. That sounds cool. Now that is how you make a good vocal. And it's not always easy making vocals or instrumentals or anything like that without practice. So make sure you practice this. And this is the first time I make a tutorial, so I'm not that good of a teacher. So it's best to watch some more other videos. And make sure to listen to more songs and more genres on what kind of FNF song you want to make. So by adding all of these up, you get something like this. creator myself, that sounds fire. I guess that's all I could teach you for now. Just make sure you don't record anything, or I don't know, just tweak the FLM a little bit. Yeah, don't do that. Try to create something original. That's how that's how everyone knows that you actually dedicated your work to it. If you just tweak the instruments a little bit and just, I don't know, don't do that well on the vocals, that's not going to get you any views. And yeah, that's just not gonna work. Anyways, yeah, that's all I could teach.